talked about January 20, 2021. On that day, President Trump left a peaceful and stable world to Joe Biden. What did Biden do? Well, he engineered the catastrophic withdrawal in Afghanistan, and shortly after that, we had Russia invading Ukraine, China and Russia destabilizing North Africa with insurgencies that looked like wars, and Iran's assault on Israel. These are China's proxy wars. Now, in the late 1930s, there were separate wars around the world. They merged into what we now call World War II. So the question for our generation is, will today's conflicts merge as well? Answer to that depends on China. So Eric Prince, what should President do to restore that peace and stability?
For 100+ years, it was the policy of the United States to keep German industry from combining with Russian resources. This war that's dragged down in Ukraine has pushed Russia into a subservient role of China, which is the worst possible combination. President Trump needs to bring an end to that war in Ukraine because it's just bad math at this point. The Ukrainian military is losing people every day at a rate they cannot possibly replace. A war of attrition loses to the side that just can't generate that force. There's no great innovation or breakthrough is going to happen for the Ukrainians. They're just wiping out the next generation of demographics at this point. So the sooner he can do that, the better. The wrong paradigm in Washington that we're somehow degrading the Russian military is completely false. The fact is the Russian military is getting much, much better. The rate of advance of small drone technology, of something the size of a water bottle on your table that can be carried on a $500 drone with even a wire-guided or wirelessly, now you can, each one of you can carry 6 of those drones and smash the target up to 15 kilometers away. It is exceedingly dangerous, and much of the trillions of dollars of defense spending investment that we've done over the past decades are largely rendered useless.
So that leads to the question, is the U.S. military prepared to defend American interests and the interests of our friends and allies when you look at this change in warfare?
No, we are not. President Trump's right to skip a generation and to go to a younger SecDef nominee, I think Pete Hegseth will be great. We have a massive over-cartelization of the U.S. military, of the defense industrial base. We used to have 100 major defense contractors, we're down to 5. That needs to change and go back to 100. But the idea, the speed of war, and the advance, when George Marshall, the Chief of Staff of the U.S. Army, when he took that position September 1 of 1939, the day that the Nazis invaded Poland, he immediately set to work firing many, many generals and colonels because they were prepared to fight the last war, World War I. We have hundreds of generals now. We have the same amount of general officers today in the U.S. military as we did at the peak of World War II, even though we have a military that's 1/10 the size. So there is a massive reduction in overhead that's required and a different change in mentality to go